Hello, divine, beautiful souls. This is Energy Speaks Podcast with your host, Catriel. This is a new series called the Zodiac Energy Empowerment Series, and we have our very first guest here, Lissa Finelli for Scorpio class. Welcome.
Hey, thank you so much. Thank you all for being here. Catriel, thank you for hosting and this beautiful creation of learning how to use the zodiac energies to manifest. I think it's such a wonderful program. I'm so excited to be part of it. And I'm really excited to be here. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm really excited to. I've been, waiting for this day literally for several years. Feel like that one massage you gave me probably activated that,
Yeah. Yes.
back in 2019.
So excited to be part of this journey and to witness the creation from manifestation vision to reality. It's and I'm, like I said, I'm so excited to be part of it, and I'm honored to have activated those energies so that you just have that energy just move through, and everything seems to come together, and it's so exciting.
So essentially, I'll kind of give a little overview for our guests here so that they can listen in when they listen of what we're going to be talking about today. So essentially, I want to get to know you, Lissa, and Heart Shine, and what you do, what brought you to this line of work, and everything. And then we'll talk about a little bit more about the Zodiac Energy Empowerment Series and how that relates to the class you and I are collaborating. And then like how important sacred space is and how you do that, and how important with that for like intention setting and actually co-creating with the universe. Does that sound good?
That sounds
great. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, how did you get into this line of work?
Let's see. So I guess to start, always it's this innate knowing that you have, or I had as a child. It's just when I started tuning into myself and on the mission of knowing thyself, having been in a corporate environment, and through my career and family and friends and just life in general, mostly my career, I kind of had a feeling there was something else. And when I tapped into trends or patterns of energy within myself or with my experiences, one always, random strangers would always come to me and say, and just open themselves up to me and just be very comfortable around me to share whatever they were thinking or going through. And I just remember I found my yearbook and someone, but I could always talk to you, Lissa. It's like, it's so funny, like, 8th grade or whatever, right? Anyway, so I kind of went and traced back the common thread that's been like through my life. And it carried over into my career. I was a manager of processes, and I had a team that was also involved in mentoring. And I absolutely loved that. I absolutely loved watching somebody find their potential, making their own dreams come true. Because I guess I saw the potential in others. And it's interesting, right? Because like you could see it in reflection in myself, and it just got stronger and stronger. So when I was working in that corporate job, I just felt that there was something more, and I wanted to be more, have more purpose in my life, instead of kind of, I'll say, working for the bottom line, so to speak. So I started really examining my own life and looking at, well, what makes me happy? What is my purpose? What am I here for? If I'm not here for this, I have to be here for something more and broader and embodied. I just had this feeling that humans should not be 9 to 5 in a box and in a car and just do cycles and just. I just felt very strongly we're not put on this earth to do that. So I first of all started with myself. So know thyself, went back to my past, as I mentioned, and looked at some trends and what really lit me up, like what really brought me joy, what could I love doing all the time, and really started to expand my consciousness. And what also helped with that is I started really focusing on my own self-care. So all these belief systems, you're supposed to take care of everyone else, you're not, take care of yourself, you're selfish, all these old paradigm beliefs.
Yeah.
Um, when in fact, self-love is self-care is priority. It's what we're here for,
Yeah.
to fill up our cup and have it overflow. But it took me a while to really learn that. So when I started knowing thyself more, I went for an energy session, an energy healing, a Reiki session. Um, and that just changed my whole life. It just opened me up. And I found that there was a way to heal myself through my own ability, which is very natural, which is this energy that's flowing, this life force energy that's just flowing through all of us.
Yeah.
And when I looked around me and saw there's so many people who struggle with different illnesses or anxiety or stress or what have you, and then the pharmaceutical company, while I'm sure it has a place, it was just like bombarded with something outside yourself. And I'm like, well, wow, here's a natural way to really go in and find out the core of these issues or energy that I'm holding. So it just changed my life. And I'm like, this is what I need to be doing. I need to kind of, well, back then it was more share the message, share this, this, this modality with others. And I just dove headfirst into all natural healing modalities, um, spiritual modalities, the esoteric. I always loved astrology, and that was part of my, I guess, self-analysis. Like, what did I always love as a kid to do, and just could do it for hours on end, and just started there. Um,
Wow.
and through there, I just it it challenged my own belief system of what I was supposed to be doing and what looked like the collective way of earning money, or having purpose or having value. And then it just broke all that paradigms. Like, I really worked hard on really breaking those beliefs and really embracing my spirituality and my soul and what my soul wanted, and really trusted and took a risk, and just surrendered to it. And then slowly things started to manifest for me as I let go of these belief systems. Um, then my whole life changed. Huge transformation, probably in 2018, 2017. My first Reiki session was 2014, I think. Yeah. So then, like, very, very quickly. So that energy plus music has always been at the heart of who I am. It's been in my life since I was a little kid. Um, and I was in a drum corps. I played the fife. I marched in parades, like
Really?
from the age 7 to 12. So like I was this natural, and I loved it. Collaborating with others, playing music and making music. It was such an incredible experience. Um, so music has always been at the heart of what I do. And now with sound healing, I also, another natural modality is really what I have embraced, and I would say that has um, opened me up and others as they experience a sound bath or a sound journey. I just see the changes from when they walk into the room and when they leave. It's just incredible. So I know through all my research and just my own inner knowing that sound is so powerful, and it changes our individual nature, but it also brings us all together and harmonizes us on a collective level. So I think that has been a mission of mine to share my own joy and my own passion, um, with others who are ready to receive, so that they
Yeah.
can find their own joy and passion within themselves and just shine their light and just share their gifts. So,
That's powerful. I just remember like all of the times we had in soul school and how deep we would go with all the different, I mean, we had like, it was like walking into a grocery store or a mall of all the metaphysical energies you could think of.
Exactly. Like a metaphysical market.
Metaphysical market.
For sure.
And, you know, and like, it's interesting as you were talking, because you said you obviously anyone who went through soul school, we all walked through lots of different modalities. That was like part of our training. What's your like top 3 of things to work with?
Sound, energy, and crystals.
Energy and crystals.
Yeah. And I think that comes into play with sound as encompassing whether it be my voice, whether it be a drum, whether it be my crystal bowls, and of course the quartz crystal within the crystal bowls. Just it just aligns. It's just in alignment with and works very well together. And I would say too, crystals I just resonate with and have. Oh, it's so interesting how I realized, oh my gosh, like it's always in the jewelry, like always love rocks and stones and necklaces and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, that's pretty, it's pretty, it's pretty, right? And loved it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, they were like, duh, they were talking to me. Like, it took me a while to realize. So now I love working with crystal grids, and I love to make crystal grids. Eventually on my list, I'd like to make jewelry at some point, but for now, just working with the crystals and really creating formations and setting intentions. And I like to do that with my sound healing when I play sound as well. And then of course energy, just the quantum energy healing, whether it be Reiki or my own way of channeling the energy. I think it's a win-win on all levels. These modalities are, especially sound and energy, are modalities that I even benefit from, even, and then everyone else who's in the room, they're, can benefit as well. So those are my top 3.
I love that. Curious, what are you wearing today?
Oh, I got my moonstone on.
Interesting.
Full moon in Cancer. Oh yes, I would say too. Astrology's up there as well.
Well, you also do Mayan and galactic signature astrology, right? Which are closely related.
Somewhat, yeah.
Somewhat.
In fact, today's a gap day, which is a galactic activation portal.
Of course it is.
Of course it is.
For our listeners, can you explain what a gap day is?
It's just a very potent energetic portal of energies based upon the alignments of the planets and mostly of the moon, because the Mayan calendar goes more on the moon calendar versus the Western or other modalities, Chinese, Native American. They all go by the sun placement. Maybe not all go by, but definitely in the Western astrology. But there's 13 moons in a year, and that's the basis of the Mayan, or rather the dream spell. The dream spell calendar is actually a combination. This gentleman, Jose Arguelles, he took the Mayan calendar, the traditional Mayan calendar, and also the elements of the I Ching, and kind of melded those together and looked at them from a different lens. So very distinctly different from the traditional Mayan calendar. Gotcha. But it's just another layer, another perspective of looking at energies and how to work with these energies. So,
love that. Oh my gosh.
Very exciting. More archetypes to play with. And
right? It's good to talk about these different things, because maybe a lot of people are not aware of how incredible the mind is, the soul is, and what it chooses to create, for us all to like play with,
So infinite aspects of creation. And I think that's the, when you practice that or practice remembering that, that's when things start to open up for you. Like where you just start to expand your consciousness and you expand the possibilities of what you can experience. So I think it's really cool.
So I wanted to also, because I know you do Heart Shine. So how did you create Heart Shine and like what you're doing? I mean, it's similar to what we heard, you know, but
Right.
more framed, you know, like.
Yeah. So Heart Shine Healing was created from my guides that when I was ready to embark on this journey, on the separate, the next chapter, I would say. Um, and I was tuning into what it was that I wanted to, I guess, what the medicine would be, right? So it's at its core is through your heart is where you find, I mean, it's such a powerful, energetic, magnetic field. But through your heart, really, that's where all the magic lies. And that's really to master the mind, but really, as a, think with your heart, feel with your mind. So it's really allowing your heart to guide your way, allowing your heart and what you really love, your passion, your purpose, just love itself to be present, and appreciation and compassion and empathy. These are all energies that start through your heart, and because that's how we're connected. I believe that's how we're connected through to source, and our heart is what keeps us here. So can we? For me, I had to go through a process of kind of mastering the mind and living my purpose through my heart, and really following my heart and what my heart wants, instead of my mind directing, what should or shouldn't be or what have you. um, and when we do that, we're able to really find joy in our lives and lift our vibration and connect to source, and really connect to our higher wisdom and what we're here to do. And each of us is unique. We each have a unique frequency, so our gifts come through our heart. And when you start tapping into that and shining into that heart space, you could just feel your energy just emanate and radiate, and it affects other people and allows them to kind of feel that within themselves. So that's the basis of Heart Shine, um, uh, uh, at its nature, because it's really just having us know that we carry everything within ourselves. It's being self-empowered, right? The empowerment of 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 our connection to our uh the one infinite creator that is in all of us. So, and how that reflects through our heart, through our own heartbeat or our own vibration, in a sense.
That's beautiful. You know, I was sitting here thinking, um, like, knowing your sun is an Aquarius, your Earth is naturally Leo, and Leo is all about shining that heart space. And so it's interesting that your groundwork here in this lifetime is really shining through that Leo light. Like, it's like a grounding point, not necessarily like you're shining it out from, because you're very Aquarian. You're very unique, but it's like that grounding point, the work that you're sowing here and weaving on the earth is literally Leo.
Wow. Yeah. such a teaching moment too, such a healing point to find that grounding within myself, and it takes practice, no question. So,
with that, with Heart Shine though, so how do you, what do you do for Heart Shine? Like, what, how do you bring people into the space?
Sure. So what I offer is just really helping them find the origin points of these stuck energy or belief systems, using different modalities, sound, energy, astrology, um, it's just my own intuitive abilities, through essential oils, all of these vibrational medicines, um, through massage. So crystals, it, it, people have come to me to really kind of It's so interesting. A lot of times it would come for a massage, right? And then all of a sudden I would get these psychic messages that would come through, and just a knowing of where they were, where this energy or the stuck energy started, whatever event in their life, whatever trauma in their life, whether their higher self would show me a vision. So my abilities have gotten stronger working through the energies, and just giving them a different perspective as to that origin point. I call it an origin point. And I like to give them a different perspective using the Akashic records as well, to rewrite specific events in their life, and maybe just have them see it from the other version, like the other person or the other perspective. So offering a lot of those classes, or sessions rather, and now offering classes. So I've also taught energy. I've taught a Reiki course actually down in Florida, and sound healing courses, astrology courses, and this other course that I taught last year, and I'm going to offer it again in the new year. It's about transmuting your own energy. So it's really about tuning into your own energy field, and really connecting with your higher self and working with your higher self on a daily basis, and commanding your own energies through protocols. It's a little bit of a combination of like overview of energy, our energy system anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, the power just came on.
That's great.
Thank you. So it's just really finding that connection, all right, to source, to their higher self, and really understanding that everything is energy around you, and how to like tune into symbols, and how to get that information, and what is presenting to you, to yourself right now in this now moment, and what do you need to how do you decipher that information, and what is with ease and grace, and your own empowerment. So instead of things happening to you, it's more just commanding your own energies, and moving out energy that maybe needs to go, or be transmuted, mostly, because everything's fluid. So yeah. So, oh God, astrology course. I have another astrology course as well. So between that and then retreats, also like a half a day immersion, where I like to combine a lot of different modalities, whether it be sound, energy, have a cacao, an oracle card reading, get some messages, and just really setting the intention to whatever it is the client needs at that moment. So whether it be relaxation, I need purpose, I need help in my relationships, I need to find what's bothering me, or what I'm holding, or trauma, or what have you. Whatever the intention is, I help them work through that, so that they can understand themselves and the energy around it, and to give them tips to move through it, to do it themselves. So really, that's a lot of what I offer as the container of Heartshine, I guess.
That's beautiful. It's as you've been talking, and then also what we just saw with the light coming back on. We're really, I'm gonna kind of transition a little bit into the Zodiac Energy Empowerment series for a moment, because it's gonna really harness the energy of what we're talking about. So like, you with everything you're doing, you're creating this beautiful sacred space, and for the Zodiac Energy Empowerment series, I started it off with Scorpio, which is setting the sacred space. So in a way, it's like you're in, like, imagine before anything was created, that void energy, and you're just kind of like there existing, but nothing has quite formed yet. This is like that primordial energy that we're like tapping into, and then formulating that sacred space together, and there's so much magic within that primordial, and so much understandings but it takes a while to unpack that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like to be able to use the sound as a modality to move through that together. I feel like you have to have a tool like that.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it's like too intense, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, you know, and then as like, you know, we kind of had that mirror going on, like today, earlier, your lights went out completely.
Big
And it's
boom.
like, it's like, boom, like, what? And so, you know, as we got on this call and we started to say, you know, set that sacred space for the energy, because I've been tuning in throughout this entire thing, you know, like energetic wise of like, how can I hold the space and create this? How can we create it together to hold this large amount of energy?
Mm-hmm.
And as I was like, as we started talking about the heart, and the heart is the bridge, right? It's the bridge from the above all the way into this existence. As we started to talk about that, light, heart shine.
Yes. Yes.
And so like that's exactly it. That's exactly what my intention is for this series, is as we do this together, we all start coming online. And like, yeah, of course we've been coming online, but
Right.
we're doing it together. And it's the intention, and that we all are connecting. And the next level, the next stage of whatever is to come, you know?
Pretty exciting.
I'm excited.
It's interesting because I was being that, you know, in 2018 when we met in Soul School at Solterra.
Yeah.
There, what we were envisioning, discussing, embodying, visualizing, I mean, just all of the ideas and the collaboration that came through that experience, and now to see it really manifest on a collective level. So where, you know, you pop in and somebody's talking about 5D, and it's all about community, and it's all about simplifying and being, you know, self-sufficient, and the surgence that has happened since 2018. So I totally feel it and see it and like and taste it. So it was like a collective manifestation, and of course we're all connected, and we all want change at the heart of who we are. You know, we're here to evolve and grow, and at a collective level, now to see it, it's just it's becoming the majority. It's not just a small percentage of us that maybe was tapping into that. Now it's the energy is just getting stronger and stronger, and it's so exciting. Ding.
Oh my goodness.
Somebody's ringing that bell.
That was my mom.
See,
Somehow
Mama.
she could still get through the portal.
Thanks, Mom.
Well, it's funny because like that next stage, like we were talking about Scorpio energy and bringing that heart in, is that Leo energy. That
Right.
second, the next, my mother.
Yep. Mama
The
knows
next
best.
energy is Cancer, which is connected to the mother.
Yes, yes. We're still in the full moon of Cancer right now. Woo.
My mom is also actually, both me and my mom are Cancer moons.
Oh wow! This is a big one for you. This big moon. So is Vinny.
Yeah.
My partner is also a Cancer moon.
Oh yeah.
And
Wow.
his
He's got a
birthday
lot
was
of
yesterday. So
happy birthday,
yeah.
Vinny.
Yeah. So interesting. So yeah, a lot of nurturing the self and nurturing the emotion, right? And the nurturing of mom, and with that nurturing, through ourself, friends and family, that's where the heart expands. And right, stepping out of that primordial to have that courage of the heart to actually act now and do
Yeah.
something, create. And that's
It's really going into the soul, you know? It's like connecting that heart space with the soul and building, like, it's like forming this new vibration.
Yep.
Because it's like you think of like the tides, you know, and it's ruled by the moon, and how like there's a specific vibration that's happening that's coming off of the waves. It's unbelievable. And I'm very excited to see how, like, for instance, these activities really help us to embody and recognize these energies in our everyday flow.
Mm-hmm.
Because as we start to recognize them and we start putting the pieces together and we're like, oh, well, if I'm at the beach right now and I'm experiencing the waves, can I tune into the soul level? Can I tune into my memories? You know, can I connect with my mother? Maybe there's something that I need to transmute, or maybe, you know, maybe there's something that I want to connect deeper with, you know, from an ancestral level.
Mm-hmm.
Like all these different things. And I'm just talking about Cancer. Like you can do this with any zodiac energy and you make it more potent, because it's like with intention comes more potency.
Yes. Absolutely. And that's the command of the energies, right? Yeah. Just like tapping in. That is the Cancer. We're all of it. So it's just like the dial on the radio station. You're tuning into that frequency, and you're able to tap into deeper memories or deeper emotions or deeper sounds of your soul. I just heard.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting when you start to really pay attention and learn to read all the signs and symbols in front of you and how to work with them. So it's pretty exciting.
And it's also really important to have like a teacher or a mentor who's able to go with you on that journey. Because I know if I did not have and a cohort, honestly, if I did not have Alasa and other mentors and have you guys, it makes it more challenging, you know? Not that it can't be done, but it's just like we're meant to do this together.
Yes. Yes.
You know? And
it's more fun.
It is more fun.
It's more fun.
So let's you know, maybe share a little bit more what we're going to be doing in this class, where it's at. Also, I'll mention this. So as we were talking about, you know, I've only hinted a little bit of like this of the series, the Zodiac Energy Empowerment series. I'm trying to layer it essentially because there's a lot of energy, you know? Sure. And so essentially, it, you know, for those who are listening, if you go to the website, which is everywhere now, there's two different tracks. There's the in-person track and the online. Lissa is our in-person teacher for Scorpio class. And so we're going to be setting this sacred space in Tampa Bay at a yoga village. And the class to experience this is going to be $50 for this incredible sound journey and transformative experience. So if you want to expand on more of the details of what we're going to be doing, and I'll jump in as well, you know.
Mm-hmm. Oh, me. Oh,
yeah, you. Sorry. We're goofy here. It's all good. it's Scorpio meets Aquarius.
Well, speaking of Scorpio meets Aquarius, so yes, so what we're going to be doing, which is very interesting. So as Catriel and I were speaking and talking about this collaboration, this beautiful when he invited me to be part of this Scorpio class, I was immediately, my higher self, of course, brought to my attention that the day we're doing this class is the day that Pluto goes into the sign of Aquarius. And Pluto is the planet that rules Scorpio. And the fact that Pluto is going into Aquarius, and it hasn't happened in a very long time, Pluto being the transformer, the great change,
the Revolutionary War,
the revolution. Yeah, I think that's the last time it was in there. And the USA has their own Pluto return. But anyway, so this is huge. This is really big. And Aquarius is the collective. It's humanity. It is unique. It's inspired change. So the fact that we're doing it on this date, I heard very clearly we had to do it that day, and everything, of course, came into alignment. So both Catriel, higher self, my higher self, and all our guides, we are listening and surrendering to the bigger purpose of this class, to really to set the sacred space for this series, to set the sacred space of the great changes that we are all going through, but also, again, with the Aquarian energy of we're all doing it together. It's a very humanitarian energy. It's the collective. It's everyone's going to have a part. Everyone has a unique voice and experience and a unique role to play in this change, if you choose. But so we're going to I'm going to be playing different instruments to really get everybody in a state of surrender and harmony, so that we come in, be clear what is maybe some old belief systems, or any energies that you're holding on to from Capricorn energy, Pluto and Capricorn, and then it's like clearing that space. So like creating again that primordial space where you're allowing yourself to tap into your heart, your dreams, your visions, your higher self, what it is that your gifts, what is your medicine that you came here to share. So that's what our intention is for the class.
And as I've been tuning into this, I haven't even shared this with you, so we're all kind of hearing this all together. But I really saw during this meditation experience, this sound journey of us really creating the sacred space as if we're co-creating with the universe, with Hashem, with the creator, the divine. And we'll see how that actually manifests, because, I get an idea, it comes through, and it's never in the way that I actually think. So, but it's like, I feel like one of the most important things is like, as you're coming into the class, is like really start tuning in to, like, it doesn't even have to be in your mind. It can be into like your being as you're preparing your energetic being. What intentions do you have? What do you want to transform in your life? And oftentimes, at least from a Scorpio's perspective, I don't have the tangible thought of what that really is. It's often a feeling. It's often some type of vibration or inner knowing that I just kind of, here you go. I surrender to the universe, and I'm not really sure what this looks like, what I really want, because it's often what we want is different than what we think we want.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's something so more divine we're tapping into that we could never actually imagine that potential. And that's okay. We don't have, like, if we already saw it, it would kind of be boring to us, you know,
Yep.
in a way, you know, like,
yeah.
and so to be able to just like set that energetic intention and walk away. And that's another thing about the Scorpio energy that I really want to describe here is I've noticed, especially shining through Scorpio in my life, how important it is to walk away. Like, you set that sacred space, and yes, you plant, you water the seed, all of that, right? But there has to be a sacred space in between, a void, for the magic to happen. Because if you're always watering it, you don't actually get to see it transform. There has to be space in between.
Yes.
And so we never know what that actually means, you know? Like, we can experience it and we're like, oh my gosh, that was it.
Yes.
But I'm kind of giving these ideas through because oftentimes it's indescribable, you know? And it's an experience you have to have. But if I plant the little seeds, you'll remember this moment and you'll be like, oh.
Yeah. So true. Thank you for that.
Wow.
The universe is so magical. And our human minds, just like you said, you just can't quite comprehend. It's just so vast. You know, it's just how it's built. And that's where the heart comes in. And like you said, you know, through the feeling, what do you want to feel through this experience, or at least through your senses, kind of experience it that way, and then, or something better, you know, and then let the universe surprise you. So yeah.
So it's actually, sorry.
No, go ahead.
It's something like you pinged me on something that I should mention. Okay. So throughout this this journey, it's been a journey creating this series, and as I keep creating things within it, in the past, in 2019, when I got this download to do this, I started to create a zodiac energy empowerment journal. And so as we're going through these different classes, again, there's in person and online, and each one are very different. If you choose to get the journal, that will be available online. I'm still working on that completion at grammar.
It's in process.
It's in process. It'll be here soon.
It'll be ready right before it starts, of course.
Exactly. And I'll have that link for y'all. But the point of this journal is to be able, because we can do the work together in some aspect there, but there is that point where we need to tune in at a singular level and really process this information. We're going to be walking through a lot of energy with every single class. And so to help with this grounding process and this processing, like, I have certain questions catered to every single class that we can work through, and it will help us tap into each part of our chakra system. And, you know, it may sound repetitive in some of these things, but every single energy has a connection to every single part of the chakra system, and also our senses. So there are going to be questions formulated. You can do as much or as little as you'd like. And you could probably do it over a lifetime if you really wanted to. But it's there to help you with the framework and to help you process all of these different things. And we all process things in different ways. So if if writing is something that helps you, this is going to be a very good tool to help you ground in and process those energies.
Oh, what a wonderful gift. Thank you.
Mer.
Yeah, totally. That would be great. And it's so great to reflect, because I've been reading astrology for a long time, and I'm always learning something new, or a different level, or a different like attribute of the energy, or how it's showing up in my life, or how I'm exuding that energy. It's like, wow, huh. So we're the perpetual spiritual student, of course. And it's great because you get to grow, and you get to really expand and see things differently. And as souls, this is why we're here. So
and
wonderful.
And that's the other thing, is like, even if you wrote down a couple words, your being's going to remember those couple words of why you wrote that, because you grounded it in. And when you look at that, say you look at that a year from now, you're going to see how much you've grown.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you write down one more word, and you're going to be like, oh, the next year, holy smokes, I really catapulted.
Yeah.
It's because like I say that because it is very difficult for myself, and I think partially I created this so that I would also pay attention to my journey, because we can all run through that journey so quickly, and it's like, wait, what did I actually experience? But every part of the journey is so filled with magical fairy dust, and it's like it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. It's really true.
And I think I feel rather that it really allows you to stop and really experience that gratitude for every step of the journey that we are on. Our own journey, the individual journey that we're taking, the individual journeys that our family and friends are also on. So when you're able to appreciate and be grateful for everything that you've learned and you've gone through and grown through, and then it's kind of like the mother and the child. You watch your child grow, or a nephew or niece, or a young person that's just starting out and learning, and to watch them grow. It's just like, but it's you. It's your own journey, and then it's just it just amplifies the gratitude, which you already have it anyway. Like, you have everything you need in that moment when you're so grateful for everything, that it's just the abundance and the amplification of the energy and just reciprocity of gratitude that from the co-creator, because we are creating and we are trusting, and we have we had faith in ourselves and in the process, and we're just trusting that everything works out as it should. So
Amen.
Mom.
I said amen, and Mom pops through. It's beautiful. Couple other things I wanted to mention as we are kicking off this series, and if somebody ends up watching this before these events happen, we have on Wednesday, January 3rd, 2024, we have our opening panel, where we'll get to go through this model. We kind of touched on 3 energies within this model already, but we're going to get the fullness of it. Who's teaching the classes, all of the information for both the online and in person in Tampa Bay. And that is, I'll put the information on here, how you can get your ticket, so that you can get on that Zoom call, essentially. And that will be at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you look at the website, it'll break it down into different time zones for you. And then also for the in-person kickoff for the series at all 5 elements in Largo, Florida, the next day, which is Thursday, January 4th, starting at 6:30 p.m., going all the way until 1 a.m. We will be doing another intro class with several practitioners coming that are in person and also online, ironically. And we'll have vendors. We'll have a DJ called She Wolf. She's going to be epic. We're going to have food and kava and kratom and kombucha from all 5 elements where the location of this event is, and fire spinning, because we all need the fire in our life. And so that it's going to be beautiful, 2 amazing events that are going to kick off this series. And I want to say thank you so much for your time, your effort, your collaboration, and the journey you're going to be taking from Connecticut to come all the way down here for the return of Aquarius and Pluto. Did I say that backwards? Probably, but that makes sense.
Reflection point.
Exactly.
It's my honor. I was, like I said, I'm very honored. I'm very excited, and to be part of this, and this collaborative co-creation. And again, I can't wait. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, I want to miss that party next week. Let me see what the rates are. I can fly in, fly out.
Well, okay, little sneak peek for everyone as well. There will be, energetics talk. The reason I do what I do in regards to the energy and how I set up the model is there's 2 practitioners, myself and another, for every single class, but there's also 2 events that mirror each other. The starting, the Zoom, and the in-person event. But there also will be a Zoom ending event and a in-person ending event to celebrate everything. So if you want to plan for April 14th, a Sunday, we are going to have something even bigger than what we're starting off with. So sneak peek.
Exciting.
You won't miss the party.
No, we bring the party.
You bring the party, exactly.
Y'all bring the party. We are.
Well, I want to say thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
And I want to and I want to say thank you to our listeners. And again, reach out to wherever you're viewing this video or listening to this. You can contact me and get all the details, and I will have the website posted, and that has every detail you could possibly think of for the series. And so thank you all, divine, beautiful souls, and I will see you along the journey.